All right. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Ravens Outpost. Tonight we got a very special guest. Uh, Everybody knows him as Pyro-Medic. He's got some great photos he sent me. We're going to discuss them tonight and whatever else he can throw at us. Everybody welcome Brandon to the show. How you doing, Brandon?
Good, good. How are you?
Doing good, doing good.
Everybody else, I see here, Swamp is in the house right now. So good greetings to him, and everybody else will come on later and watch this later on. I know we're butting up against a few good shows I watch all the time and stuff.
Who's on tonight? Do you know?
I thought I saw Nikki was going to be. Tex is on right now.
Okay.
Tex and Chrissy just got done with hers. I think you said she got taken down for some stuff, but that happens. Lockbeard, I watched Lockbeard, and he got taken down. He made the convoy and was broadcasting live from there today. So
no kidding.
Cool. Yep. They come through Oklahoma here and stopped. I guess there was pretty close to 1,000 trucks there.
Wow.
They had a deal. Even our fire departments had their double ladder trucks up with their giant flags out on the banners. And they were like, Oklahoma did it up right. Going to show up Illinois, I guess.
Shoot. That's awesome. See, we've got Bigfoot Anon in the chat. Laura, nice to see you, Laura. Welcome back. My nephew is in the chat, Dylan Craighead. How you doing, boy?
How old's he?
He is creeping up on 30 years old.
Okay. Yeah, I'm creeping up on 50 myself. So
hit that mark, life changes just a little bit.
Yeah.
Don't. It all depends on how you feel.
Yeah.
Me personally, I felt 50 for about 10 years.
After 22, 21, I stopped counting, and it's kind of all blends together,
It is what it is.
I still feel 21, once in a while. Going straight, however that goes.
Was it that Toby Keith song? I'm not as good as I once was, but I'm good once as I ever was.
Yep.
Yeah. Trumpy Bear, how you doing?
Hello, sir. Mr. Trump. Making a comeback.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not too much into politics. I'm Cherokee from Oklahoma, so we kind of stick to our own tribe out here.
I try
to the East Coast.
Right. I try to.
Oh yeah, everybody's got one, but
I try to stay away from it anymore. It just pisses me off.
I like seeing them talk about it. Especially some of those other channels we watch and stuff. It's pretty fun. But yeah. But anyway, my name is Brandon Squirrel. I'm from the Cherokee Nation of Oklahoma, the whole northeast corner of Oklahoma. I've been into this before. I guess I started when watching old Bobo chase Bigfoot on TV.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Finding Bigfoot.
Yep, Finding Bigfoot. And my kids were watching it and stuff, and they were hollering around like that, and just making fun or whatever. And they said, "Papa, have you ever, have you ever run into Bigfoot in the woods?" And I was like, "Well, about that, I was like,
Yeah.
I have." And they were big-eyed and captivated. And from then on, I was like, "Yeah." And I hollered as loud as I could to try to show them what it sounded like. After that and stuff, I started looking again. I thought, well, I bet somebody's recorded it by now. Somebody, there's so much YouTube out there recording it. Somebody is recording it somewhere that it sounds like what I heard. And I have not still found the volume and the length of breath this thing had.
Yeah.
That presented itself to us. The first time I live in a hollow, I'm on the Ozarks. The first hollow in the Ozarks, and to the west of us is the Great Plains, and the back's the hills. So solid woods. As far as you can go into Arkansas, Missouri, all the way. They used to say a squirrel could jump in a tree in the East Coast and get down, out here on the plains. At one time, just there's enough trees everywhere to hide something like this, I think. So,
Absolutely. That's something people don't seem to understand.
yeah, yeah. But our little area of the woods there is about the first crossing that's solid trees, without fields and stuff. From ridge line to ridge line, it's solid trees there in the middle of it, kind of like a little breadbasket area.
Mm-hmm.
With the creek running through it, we got the Clearwater Creek, and we were down in them bottoms one day and riding our bikes as fast as we could, just like BMX riders, jumping the little sand dunes or the gravel piles and just tearing it up through there.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. And didn't have a care in the world before that. Got to the field and just stopped long enough to look around. Me and my sister and my cousin, we're all 10 years old, 11. She was a year or two older than me. And my cousin was the same age, born a few days apart. So, and it let loose on us. I don't think it had to, but it meant to scare us. It come on with the power of our storm siren. I recorded that at the firehouse. The starting up of that, and our hydroelectric plants here have the same kind of siren, similar to it. And every time those go off, to this day, I perk up and look sideways to make sure it's not that entity again.
Mm-hmm.
And then once I hear the rest of it start, I'm like, okay, it's not him. So, I mean, it had that profound effect on us. My cousin to this day, he doesn't hunt.
Really?
When he does hunt, but he doesn't go out of people's yard almost. I think just
Mm-hmm.
and around here you can kill a deer out my front door. Right now, and I feed them out there, and just they're my pets here. I go way off to hunt.
Right.
About it and stuff. But yeah, I don't know if that's what truly kept him out of the woods, but that was a pretty profound start to young people, out there.
I'd say it probably was. I mean, hell, I've heard a lot of grown folk get out there and, have an encounter like that, and they just say, to hell with it, I'm not going back out there.
Yeah.
And I can imagine what happened to a kid. I mean,
yeah.
Did you feel it?
Yes. You could, the vibration. We've been to rock concerts and stuff after that, growing up as a teenager and stuff, and I've been right against the pillar of, the speakers. And
right.
That's the percussion. You could see the speakers moving in and out like that and feel that on your body enough to where I think it was vibrating the liquid in my eyes.
In your eyes.
Because everything went blurry for me. It was like the leaves turned just a green blur for a while this thing was hollering. And it lasted maybe 10, 15 seconds at top volume. I don't know. I'd have to say 150 plus decibels, 190. I don't know how loud it would be. I was going to check the decibels on our storm siren and see how loud that is, but to feel it like that, that's how close it had to be. It sustained that long.
Wow.
So
let's see.
We were in the air on our bikes as soon as we were sitting here resting for a second, and our bikes are in the air sideways and headed back out the creek. We got home, Dad was, like, yeah, what happened? Knew we'd seen something or whatever. And he was like, okay, I'll take care of it. It's, about all I remember his words were, because
I actually have a decibel chart right here.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Let's see. Hold on. Let's see. Let's share this.
Like I said, an air raid siren is close to the feeling of it, standing right beside it. And the hydroelectric plant you can't get but 50 yards or so from it too. So it's not quite as forceful as what this was. I mean, you could feel it in your lungs. It's vibrating your whole body. Is what I remember.
Well, it tells me it had to have been at least 140 decibels.
Yeah.
Because that's a jet engine taking off.
Yeah. Okay. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Blow it up there a little bit.
But I've never got up there when the siren goes off. I need to set it off one day with it beside it and see what it gets.
Yeah. I showed him one of my D&D characters there. What the hell happened to that? How the hell? There we go. Yeah. But anyway, yeah.
Yeah, that was our first one. And then, like I said, we're Cherokee, so we kind of have our own belief systems and from time immortal, I guess, however they say that, and believe it, could have been an evil spirit or what have you. And that's
right.
Had, said, kind of suggested he was going to take care of it that way with our Indian medicine, smoking, people smudge with sage. We use cedar. And stuff,
okay.
Prayers.
Yeah.
And cleansing that way, and water. You go to water and let the natural elements wash the bad attachments off of us and take that away. And then so that's.
How does the Cherokee Nation view Sasquatch?
They actually had a video here a few years ago about it. That's called the Cherokee Search for Sasquatch.
Okay.
It's pretty interesting. There's a Cherokee elder on there that I knew. I didn't know he was into it. And, you see somebody talk about it, and you're like, oh, really? I didn't know that. You really talk about it? And he's like, okay. But I'm going to hunt him down and see what else he knows one day. But that's a very interesting video to watch,
Is it on YouTube?
Yes. The Cherokee Search for Sasquatch.
Okay. And
then they have after that, it's an organization like in several states that go out and look for it, and they talk about it. Some of them are part Cherokee. But, they go and look for it there. They don't find it, of course, but they show the tracks and and stuff and some recordings they've had. But that's all in that mostly southern Oklahoma.
Mm-hmm.
And Stillwell area. They're actually having a conference in a couple of weeks there. I'm gonna try to attend and go out and look with them one night.
That's one thing I have not done yet. I have not been to a conference, and I've been doing this. I started out this channel doing just pretty much strictly Sasquatch, and that's been almost 5 years ago, and I have not been to the first one yet.
Yeah.
Closest
to start that, and I went to Hanobia. Hanobi down here.
Yeah.
That's kind of like the Bigfoot capital of Oklahoma. Everybody tries to say they're Bigfoot capital. That's
right.
The main ones where there's a old church area there, and there's been several happenings. Hanobi actually means wild man or something in their language, in their tribe's language down there, or wild killer. Because
killer.
Back from what I got out of, like 60, 80 years ago, there was a murder, almost like a serial killer murders in that area where the people were just, mutilated from something that, that could do that back then.
Wow.
And that's how it got its name way back. Is what I was told by an elder in that area. Yeah.
It's an interesting little piece of knowledge there.
Yeah.
Because I didn't know that, because all I heard about when I first heard about Hanobia was the siege of Hanobia. That's the big thing I've heard about, right?
Yeah.
And when the family was under siege by that group of Sasquatch.
Yep. And they went in and killed some of them without, not without being decapitated. Some of them being decapitated themselves.
Yep.
Or no, that was like the battle. There's like two stories there. There's the family one, and then there was the soldiers that went in and attacked them and stuff.
And I can't remember his name. He was a captain or a major.
Yeah.
And he was leading the charge, and hell, he was the first one to get.
Yeah.
He's the one first to lay low. They ripped his head off right away.
Yeah.
I've heard conflicting stories about that. That it's true. Other people say it was been made up.
I've seen. I can't even find that guy's record of being in that area or being dead or anything.
Right.
David Wilbanks is a great explorer in southern Oklahoma down there. And I watch his, catch all his channels and stuff. And he goes out and woods by himself and camps all, for days out there with them and stuff. Doesn't bat an eye about it.
I used to have the nerve to do that. I don't think I got the nerve to do that stuff anymore. I don't.
Yeah. I mean, after we had our experience there, and we went camping and fishing and swimming, we kind of watched the woods a little closer when we were, in that part of that neck of the creek there and stuff. But
oh yeah,
we stayed lived there and just swam and fished just like we always had. His dad took care of it,
Right.
It was done. I was talking to my sister a while ago, and our medicine men, say, leave the spirits, alone. Leave that to God. That's God's.
Right.
As far as evil entities or whatever, so you can definitely do something about that. With our cleansing and our protection and all that. So you can banish that and put it back where it goes. But as far as like praying for someone not to die or stuff like that, so that's up to God to handle that part of it.
Gotcha. That makes sense. Let's say hi to some of the people in chat. Uncle Bones is in chat. Laura's still here. Chrissy made it. Hey, Chrissy.
Hey.
Jen, she's here. Mark Dodman is here. Hey, everybody.
All the way from Australia.
Oh.
He's the one that got me and told me what a bull roarer was. So I carved one out, and my neighbors up here tell me every now and then, you got some weird noises coming out of that holler sometimes.
If they only knew.
Yeah, I wind that dude up, and they're like, "What is that?" Crocodile Dundee out there, fun. I thought that might, call them in one time, whatever, give them something else to listen to out there. I thought they might pique their curiosity.
Yeah.
I don't lure them in. I don't use it at night or when I'm out. I play with it. I don't go looking for them. I kind of leave them alone. Leave them be.
That's what I do now. I mean, of course, I first started doing that, and it took a couple of times. I had to have that TV fall on my head before I realized it hurt. You just back away from it. You let them do what they're going to do. If they're going to be around, they're going to be around. That's cool. But I can usually tell when they're around. Now, it's just a feeling.
Yeah.
Where I did my investigations at, I'd go out there, and I was out there 3 times a week, between an hour, maybe 3 hours. All depends on what time of day I was out there and how much time I had on my hands.
Yeah.
Let's go for a hike. Let's see where we can go. Let's see what we can find. And there was a couple of times when it got a little hairy, and I said, no, I know all I need to know. I know they're here. I don't need to guess about it anymore. And personally, I don't have nothing to prove to nobody anymore, especially myself. And
I still want to see one, but from a long distance.
Yeah.
And not to see me, But
yeah, I'd like to see one through a telephoto lens, and give that Harry and the Henderson smile.
Yeah.
Then
I see some of New York Bigfoot, stuff on there, and I'm like, no, I don't want to see one. I don't think.
No,
some of that's not right.
Sometimes, it all depends on how I'm feeling, I reckon.
Yeah.
And
Long Island Bigfoot, Long Island Mike. I'm like, okay, that's enough. I asked him, a few times, like, are since I've been looking, are they going to, feel that? Are they going to, show themselves maybe one day or whatever, After I started looking on YouTube and stuff, I was kind of worried about going hunting by myself, what happened. Because we found tracks, while we're out hunting. We found weird rocks picked through that, could have been a black bear, but something picked the rocks up and laid them down, checking for grubs or what have you in the woods. And just get eerie feelings, every now and then. And it's time to back out or go hunt somewhere else, when that's going on. But yeah. The other time, Is that Pyro? That's me, Mike. I don't have the beard, but I got the Bigfoot and on thing going just a little bit. Yeah. I know we don't know what each other look like, unless they show their faces or whatever. Mine's a little secret squirrel emoji, which my last name, is Squirrel. So
right.
It's like I'm the secret squirrel. Well, now I'm not so secret.
That's a secret. It took some guts to do that, and a lot of people can't do that.
Yeah.
A lot of people would rather stay anonymous, and I don't fault them for that. I completely get it. Sometimes it's their job, and then if their job, demands a certain amount of credibility, and people look at them like they're a fruitcake, then their credibility's shot.
Yeah.
Whether they're, it doesn't matter. I mean, that type of ignorance can ruin some people and their livelihood. So I totally get it. Totally get it.
Yeah. And I don't have nothing to prove or any credibility to lose. Just a few of my friends know I'm into this stuff and look for it or whatever from time to time. But,
me, I put myself out there early. I mean, my name is everywhere. Yeah. And to be honest with you, I really didn't think this channel would get any traction. I did it for my own personal vlog, right?
Yeah.
So
self-healing or just putting it out.
Yeah, and so I mean,
it's going to send it, and it's like he's in a snowmobiler.
Yes.
Yeah.
So about these pictures everybody's been waiting on. We're going to get started on some of these, and the first one I wanted to show everybody is a trail cam photo of a deer.
Pictures.
Yeah, let's see. Let's bring this up here.
Mm-hmm.
Can everybody see that?
Yeah. I forget what the temperature was there. 62 degrees that night. 11:34 at night. I remember it was 4/6. I've been March 6th. That's still pretty cool, or pretty early in the year for bats, I thought.
Mm-hmm.
And moths, kind of not that big. And the exposure speed of those cameras, I don't know what it is if anybody else does. It's probably half a second, or maybe a full second, which makes the deer blurry when they're moving. But if you can count the little ups and downs there's about 6 of them there. So it could be a bug. I'd seen them on TV just a few months before that, and where they were in caves and stuff, and I thought, well, that's probably bats or whatever stuff. But they didn't ever say what they were on the TV. Like Discovery Channel and stuff. I was like, and then that popped up on mine, and I was like, that's one of those things. They call rods.
Rods, yeah. So everybody, if you're looking at the picture, this right here. If you can see my cursor moving around, this is what we're talking about right here. Some light anomaly, or is it something else?
Flying snake.
Flying snake. We're getting into some Aztec lore now.
Yeah, I thought that was kind of neat.
That is pretty cool.
Yeah, but you can see up and down. It's about 6 beats of wings or whatever it is, and the ones they show on the TV, some of them were clear like that, and you can't see the wings at all or what have you. Some of them are longer, some of them are shorter.
Right.
But they're always straight. They're not like bending and turning or whatever. That'd be a pretty fast bug there, whatever it is, and that's at least, let's see, the deer's just 10 yards from the camera, so it's within 5 yards of the camera, I guess, or 10 yards. Looks to be
right,
even with the deer. So
exactly, you look at the length here and the length here; it's about the same length of this deer.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
Yeah, but I just thought that I thought that was neat. I held on to it.
But it's hard to tell. I'm looking at a lot of things like this show up with an infrared beam. Like that's about the only thing that will take that type of energy signature.
Yeah. Yeah, and it wasn't by itself, so the deer set off the camera, and it just happened to catch it. Just
Right.
because of it setting itself off on that. Yeah, so yeah, I just thought I caught one there. Keep it on my camera from now on, or till I catch another one. So yeah, that's a bug. If I catch one in my hand, I'll be like, what was that?
That's we've got another one here, another trail cam photo. This is once again a deer, but there's some type of strange light out here. What's going on here?
That, again, the time is 4:30 a.m. in the morning. No, 6:27. Sorry. So the sun would be behind that hill you're looking at about 30-degree angle. It doesn't come up in the hollow there until about 11 o'clock, where there would be light shining this direction from it. So it could be something out there that reflected the IR light again,
Right.
But there's nothing there against that hillside, in the other picture you can tell it's just woods. Right.
Okay.
And I saw that pop up, and it's a little bigger on my phone, or brighter, a little clearer, and it's just like, what was that? Is it is that what they call an orb? Is that a bug? Just you kind of hyped these up the other night and kind of left them their mouths wide open and talking about these things, and I was like, don't do that too much. There might just be a bug.
It could be, but I mean, everybody's up to their own interpretation.
Yeah, it's got distance. If it's as far as I think it is, that's 40 yards back there to the hill is a 40-yard shot, from that camera, and it's past the deer.
How thick is that brush? It looks pretty thick.
No, that hillside's pretty. It used to be cattle on it, so it's pretty thin.
Okay,
Trees. You can shoot through there pretty easy. Walk.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, but it's just they're floating and coming off the hill there. I didn't have it on. I can't have my camera on video because there's 12 deer down through there. 3 or 4 times a day. For an hour or two.
Right.
If I put on video, it just use all my time up or whatever. The memory on the card up in a couple of days. So I wish I had to see if it moved and stuff. And I've got a friend that's supposed to send me some pictures of. And I've watched them, that those balls are actually moving out in the background. And the deer kind of take notice of them and look at them, react to them, and then they come and fly by the camera.
Right.
So I hope to get those to you one day. But they're a lot more interesting than that still pit. So,
yeah. I tried to blow these up as best I could. They just wouldn't cooperating, and I don't have the equipment for it. This other one is a picture taken at it looks like it's about getting ready. The sun's about to set, and this one right here. Could you tell us what's going on here?
This is the family's Cherokee stomp grounds. The dirt here is where we dance around the fire, and the circle, and the little canopies are for each of the clans of the Cherokee. The 7 clans where they sit to rest. But the 3 balls there in the middle, you couldn't blow them up. I should have took a blowed up picture and resent that to you, I guess.
Okay.
They look like the little water things you can buy at Lowe's that are glass that you put water in to feed your plants.
Okay, yeah.
They have divots on them like golf balls.
Huh.
And they're transparent. But I was taking pictures of my kids to the left there, and those, when I went to look at them, those were there. And then some pictures there's just 2, another one there's 1, different places, left and right. But you can see they're transparent, and they're setting like down in the grass themselves. You can see blades in front of them, you can see grass blades behind it.
Right.
And with the divots in there, and they were just it's taken into the sun, and unless it's sunlight refracting on individual pixels, and then capturing that on the picture, I don't know. I don't know what a pixel looks like. You know, if it's a little ball with little divots like a golf ball on it, you know, then that's what it is. But other than that, you know, it being that, you know, the stomp area, and I thought it could be, you know, spirits or, you know, something.
Well, seeing as how some has a lot of spiritual significance here, it could be.
Yeah.
And then somebody might look at it like say right here, like where my cursor's at, you've got the sunshine, and if you look real close, you can see the sun rays coming down like that. It could be refracting off the lens. It could be.
Yeah. I agree to that.
But
I've
there's
tried to
one,
recreate it and haven't been able to recreate it just like that yet. I can get blurry spears of green or lights of green, but not an individual ball with dots all in it.
but here's the kicker right here for me. This is pretty much the same picture. I mean, the sun's in the same position in the sky.
Yeah.
You see the light rays, but now there's only one
Yeah.
light right here.
Yeah.
What happened to the other two?
Yeah. And it's kind of in a different place. And then sometimes they're on the other side, just a little bit to the left there too. But I took 3 that had that where you can see the dots on the balls itself. And there's nothing there. There was nothing. You know, my kids were to the left about 10 feet. That's what I was taking pictures of, and not, you know, over that direction. That just happened to catch my eye when I was looking at catching it. You know, I've taken a panoramic there of the circle and stuff from the inside. They didn't show up as good there either. But, you know, there was something in different spots in each picture. That's why it's here. I thought it was interesting. So,
It is. It's something. It's something to think about. I mean,
if y'all
could it be?
Go take a picture of the setting sun, you know, the setting sun, and see if you can get all that.
Right.
I haven't been able to duplicate it yet.
Now that's really significant. If you can't duplicate it, then that means something entirely different. That's some type of, once again, it's some type of energy signature. It's small orbs, maybe.
Yeah.
Don't know.
They're the size of a softball, you know, from the looks of them.
Right.
You pop them up, they're about the size of a softball setting there. And there was nothing there. You know, there could be nothing in the area there for the stomp dance to have its, you know, its power, its significance. Got to be a clean area.
This one I found interesting. Let's see. Let me bring this up. It looks like a hole in the ice. Let's see.
Oh yeah.
What can you tell? What's going on here?
Bubbles coming up from the mud underneath and melting the ice in that form, I guess. I just thought it was pretty or looked neat, or some kind of symbolism. I don't know. I've seen that on an alien show. That's kind of what their form of their body was, you know. But I was
really?
That. Well, that was different.
I didn't really think about that. I didn't think about that.
It's like what their hands look like, or when they hit the glass. I forgot what show it was.
Damn!
I thought that's different. There's 2 of them. There's one to the left of that one. I don't think I know. There's the bottom of it there.
Bottom there. Yep.
Yeah. So it duplicates, but I guess it's bubbles, you know, melting, not letting that part freeze right or something. But it's about 1 inch of ice there, you know, on the pond.
Wow.
It just left the fingers and the veins and stuff on it like that.
That's
it
crazy.
like crawling, growing out like veins, though, you know. So I was like, I just caught that the other day. I thought, I had never seen that before, you know, 48 years.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. I mean, not all this stuff is crazy looking stuff. It's all can be all can be explained away, I'm sure. I just
Um,
don't know how yet.
this is a neat one. We talked about this briefly. I believe you were at a concert in this one.
Yeah. Yeah. This was Rocklahoma. I work every year, and it was just a couple weeks after ZZ Top's bassist was passed. I forget his name. You all know it in chat probably. I've seen him, half a dozen times, but I don't know. That's the white light is the full moon, and then we had like a little rain showers there, and it was all just clearing up and going away really fast. It was moving pretty quick. And the moon was there, and I was going to take a picture of the moon at the concert. I thought that looks cool. That full moon popping out from behind the clouds.
Mm-hmm.
So I took the picture, and I looked down at it, and I was like, "What is that?" I was like, so I took a couple more, and it was the same. Almost the same thing. It was like, okay. So I don't know if you can see it. I mean, you can look at the clouds and make elephants and camels out
Right.
long and stuff, but
you see the eyes, the nose, the mouth, the hand. That's a very distinct nose. And the hands. My wife looked at it. She said, "It looks like somebody's praying with the moon in their hand."
Yeah.
I said, "Okay."
Yep. That's why.
But it's kind of
do it. But
that's kind of neat.
that setting, I was like, "Yep." And then that's reflection off the laser light or something, up there maybe.
It could be. Did that light move, go away? Was it affected by the cloud cover at all?
Yeah, it was gone almost instantly. It didn't stop.
Really?
It was just zoop, there 1 second and gone, 2 or 3 seconds later.
Wow.
But it just kind of, I was like, I'm gonna hang on to that one too, I guess.
Well, nothing else. It's really neat to look at. It's a good conversation piece. Let's see. Is it this one?
My little plug.
Let's see. Oh, wait.
My dad would pull you.
Now this is neat. I have found something similar to this. It's the tree in a tree.
Oh,
This one right here.
yeah. I sent this one to Carrie. You put that little caption in there. So her Bigfoot go big or stay home.
That's right. Well, the one I found was balanced. It was a tree limb, probably about that big around, and it was probably every bit 12 foot long, and it's balanced in the tree perfect, in between in the fork, almost exactly like this right here.
Yeah.
But it didn't. I mean, it was a limb. It wasn't a whole freaking tree.
How was it broke off? How was the end of it?
It looked like it either fell off. It was old. It was old wood. It was old dead wood, just like this right here. But it was balanced in that tree. I looked to see if it could have fallen that way out of another tree, because there's other trees around it. It's just it looks just like this where I was at. I mean, it's real thick through there. But there's no root ball here.
Yeah. That
Old root.
Yeah.
And,
I didn't go down there mess with it at all. That was off a pretty steep hill. I just never seen that before, and I was like, look at that.
Yeah, hell no.
I was like, and I thought about it later. I'm gonna go back and take more pictures of it. And I don't want to get much closer to that. I don't think. That might have been something somebody put up there. It's probably still out there. I have been there in a year now.
Wow.
I mean, you could tell where it probably just fell off the hillside and landed just right and popped up in the air there. I thought, everybody's always showing those balancing limbs and those structures and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I got one bigger than you.
Well, you never know, man. But it's curious nonetheless. I mean, that thing weighs a bunch.
Oh, yeah. That was a full size dead tree that didn't break with all the weight on both sides of it.
Right. And you follow my cursor here. I mean, let's blow this all the way up. full screen here. You look at this right here, and you got to thread all of that through this, and you look at the height here. You know, I would say how high would you guesstimate?
At least 15 feet or 20. See, yeah, that'd be at least 15 feet off the ground.
Maybe if you were able to stand this tree up and balance it just right and push it over, and it fell into that crook just right, it would do that without breaking anything. Maybe.
Yeah. It did it slow and then just popped out of the ground on the backside, and eventually later maybe.
Yeah. Interesting though.
I have to go back by there. It's not but a couple miles from the house. Give it a tug and see what happens one day, I guess. I found it. I don't know how long it's been there.
It looks like it may have been there a while. I don't know.
Yeah.
Let's jump over here to chat real quick and say hi to some people. Bat Mom's here.
Oh,
How you doing, Bat Mom?
Used to be fun.
Ray Doll is here.
Ray.
She's in the chat. How you doing, Ray?
Ray. Is that branded on her avatar? I said it
yes.
looked like one night. Is it? I figured it was. I can't see it real good on my phone. I don't have it hooked up to my TV and stuff usually.
Rusty's here. Dawn of the Dead 422.0 is here. BPD 1976 is here.
Yeah. I'm familiar.
Hiker X is in the chat. Yeah. Danny Station is in the chat. Hey everybody, welcome to the show. Welcome to the show. We're getting along. 41 minutes and 52 seconds into the show.
If anybody else wants to come on and join, I don't have a problem with that. They can say you're full of whatever. I don't care. Yeah, we've been talking the last few days, getting ready for this and kind of seeing how the layout was going to be and stuff. And just like you're talking on the phone,
right.
Realize there's, maybe 10 people watching and maybe, a couple hundred to watch later on. Yeah.
I've seen about 15 people on at one time. People drop out and they come back in, and people come and they go. They say hey, and then they have to leave.
Yeah. When you go 2 or 3 hours like you do, you're over 6.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I'm like, catch myself snoring and wake up and like, oh, he's still on. I'm like, thank goodness. I love your sincerity. I mean, and you can tell when someone's on and is like he's seen him. He knows.
Mm-hmm.
Like Carrie. I was looking for those sounds and stuff, and it clicked on down through there and said, turkey hunter sees Bigfoot or finds Bigfoot or something like that. And I thought, I'll click on this one too. Yeah, I looked at years worth of videos, and, thousands and thousands. However many there are out there. I think I ran out of them. I thought I would eventually, but I didn't. There's still a lot out there. There's a lot of hoaxes out there, I think. But when I heard his story, right then I was like, he saw what I heard.
Mm-hmm.
that close. He's the first one, I believe, 100% that's what it was standing right there in front of me.
Well, yeah. You're right. And I appreciate the kind words, too, by the way. I really do appreciate that. That means a lot. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we're really starting to get into the good stuff. Intermission.
Be back next week.
Let's leave you with another cliffhanger. Gotta keep you coming back for more. No, just kidding, folks. Just kidding. This one right here I find very interesting. Let's see. Let me bring this up here. I'm going to go full screen here. What is that? Blow it up a little bit. First, could you tell us where this is at?
That's the same place the deer were.
Oh.
Out there in the hollow. It's about 5 feet. No, not 5 feet. About 5 yards behind the tree, the other side of the tree. So it's about 20 yards, 25 yards from the camera.
Mm-hmm.
So it's about 3 foot of what you can see of it, whatever it is. And when you zoom in on it, close, you could almost make out brow and, facial features almost on the top half. And I don't know, and like nothing there on the bottom half. I've seen a few pictures of that stuff faded out, that like that maybe that could be something. Which is what Chrissy say.
Chaka from Land of the Lost.
It is. Yeah. Yeah. He fell through the portal and was coming out this side. Yep. Can you blow it up? People say it's a bird. No, it's a bird flying. I'm like, where? I'm like,
right.
I don't know. Is it the camera messing up in the lower lights? I forget what time it was, but it's early in the morning, I think. And it's just strolling along there across the little creek behind it. There's a little stream there that runs through Mahalo. All year. This land used to be my great grandma's on my mom's side. Her name is Jenny Dew, and this was Jenny Dew Hollow here. And there was a church under the lake where the lake is now that people would come from all around and walk through here and get water from that springs. It was like the best spring around, and go on to church and and Model A roads and stuff run through here for as long as there's been people around. So, yeah.
The land's got a lot of history.
Yeah, this area was originally settled by the Osages out of Kansas. John Pierre Choteau, who was on the Lewis and Clark expedition, wanted this area as his payment for being on the expedition. They were like, "What do you want?" And he was like, "I want that spot, to trap on and to have, So they deeded him all this land in this area. So he started up a trapping area, and the springs around here are salty. They're saline. Our creek's called Saline Creek, which is French for salt. So they boil the water in large cauldrons and make salt just like that. So salt was worth its weight in gold back in the day, for food and storage and stuff. So this was originally a French, right after the Lewis and Clark expedition, settled this area. It's one of the oldest places in settlements in Oklahoma.
Papa C says, "What? I made it at last. What's that ugly thing on the screen?"
That's my reflection, Papa.
Hey, Papa. Chrissy asks, "Are there portals in your area in folklore or anything?"
Oh, I don't know about that kind of stuff. I've got some people, personal stories of what they've told me. That they have seen dark areas, that appear, when they're maybe in a bad place or whatever, a bad state of mind or something,
Right.
That's it's maybe evil that kind of can attach itself to you or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
That's a blacker than black area, in the dark, at night. I've heard that, but I've never seen the weird Scarp Carpenter, swirls of light and stuff and Shimmer Man and stuff, areas like that around that I've heard.
Yeah, me
There's
neither.
A lot of stories you don't hear about. A lot of people don't talk about it. I've known several people that that have passed that that have seen different stuff and Bigfoot. I found out later, and I was like, I wish I talked to them, heard what they saw and knew.
I found out there are a lot of people, and it doesn't matter what lineage you're from. There are a lot of people who don't like to talk about it because it feels like it might bring evil on them, especially when they see something like that.
Yeah.
This, to me, right here, this looks like what has been described as the little people. Maybe I'm reading into it. Maybe it's pareidolia. I don't know. I mean, it's so pixelated, right?
And
I mean,
again, you can't see the eyes as good on your screen as you can on my phone.
right
But you could almost see the eye sockets, a mouth,
here.
a nose. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I see arms here. I see a
Yeah.
discernible arm right here, and these legs.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yep. That's what I was figuring. Some people were saying it's a bird flying and flapping its wings down, but that's a 3-foot object, whatever that is, that far past. That's 25
Yeah.
yards from the camera there and floating. So,
Yeah.
I was like, okay.
That when a chicken is scratching and its head's buried into the feed and its butt's up in the air. If when you first glance at it, I see, yeah, that's a chicken. No, it's not. No, it's not. A closer observation, I try. Now I try not to put a label on anything and try right away. I try to look at it from every angle I possibly can. I mean, granted, with this picture right here, I believe you when you say that your phone has a better picture than this.
Yeah.
But with just
but it's pretty clear.
But with just this right here, you can see the discernible bend, thigh, shin, almost a knee right here. And whatever this, how high is it? I imagine is this grass right in here, all around in here?
It's about just a 6-inch grass there.
Right.
And
it looks like it's walking toward the camera. And
if there's a person with shoes on, you can see their shoes. It's short grass,
Right.
You can tell what kind of shoes they had on there.
But this little fellow right here is small enough to where the grass is covering its feet.
Yeah.
Now.
Yeah, that's been mowed with a lawnmower there. That's how short the grass is. It's just it's just it's just about 3 inches there.
Right.
I cut all that with the lawnmower.
I'm going to bring something up, and this is from one of my photos, and see what you make of this. Right here on this side, it's like a possum track.
Yeah.
But this is almost like a human handprint right here.
Yep. Yep.
Thumb.
Longer on the back.
Yeah.
Sometimes they're like the back foot of a raccoon, but I don't think that is. That's not what I. Yeah, because a raccoon's print looks just like a little person track. Mm-hmm. It's eerie. I used to trap, and it looks just like a little person's walk through your area, when it's soft enough mud. But yeah, that is. Keep going. I'm sorry, I interrupted you.
No. You that's information you've given me. It's information I need to know.
3, 4,
because this
5. Yeah. When it's splayed out, you can see the claws almost into the toes on that one.
Yep. A little paw pad right here.
Yeah. And it was pretty heavy. It was pretty heavy. I mean, it looks damp in that area, but it had to be a few pounds or been moving a little bit, Played out, it's probably moving on the front. But yeah. that's pretty good.
But this, go ahead. But this right here bumfuzzled me because this is out in the middle of the freaking woods.
68 hours expedition. Oh yeah. Yeah. On a creek, by a creek. Looks like a muddy area. Yeah. Yeah. Now the little people, they say wear clothes sometimes, and I know a person that said he was out hunting, with his dogs, and walked up on something that jumped up and ran like he was wearing an overcoat and a hat, and his dogs just immediately just mongrel dogs and just tore into it. He thought, and went there, and the dogs were digging and looking, in a pile of leaves, and there was no hole, no nothing. But this thing jumped up and ran several steps before the dogs got to it, and then there was nothing. But they said it was a flappy overcoat, kind of like Dopey, I guess.
Oh, really? Mm-hmm.
With the hat on, and then just collapsed, and the dogs hit it, and that was it.
Damn.
There was nothing there.
So Ray asks, I'm late, but has he actually seen these things with the naked eye?
No, I've seen shadows in the corner of my eye, in different places.
Mm-hmm.
Or one of our stations, several of our medics have know that there's something there. That bothers us. It doesn't bother us. It just shows us it's there sometimes. Just the light in the doorway crack, is filled with the full height of it, or we think someone's coming in and they're not there. It's just little things like that.
Wow.
Yeah. But some of them before one night they were out food cutting, we call it. Went to an old courthouse where they supposedly had a massacre, and multiple hangings out there in the courtyards, from back in the Indian Territory days. And the owl followed them home. We followed them back to the station, and that's how one of them is there now. That needs smudged or cleansed or whatever.
Whoa.
Yeah, never call me at 2 a.m. and say, "How do you get rid of this thing?" I'm like, y'all did it. I ain't coming out there. Leave to the Lord, lose the Lord. Pray about it.
Absolutely, man. Let's see. Now, this is the one. This is the last one that everybody's been waiting on. Okay, everybody, hold on to your seat. This is a good one. This is it. What is that?
We have scissor tail Oklahoma. It's our state bird, and we eat turducken at Thanksgiving time. So I call that a scissor tail turducken.
Scissor tail turducken.
Somebody didn't like it and flung it out the door or something. This is actually one of my coworkers' pictures, and was asking me, what kind of bird is this? What is that? I was like, that's a picture of the top of somebody's head with a bird morphed into it, or with peacock feathers or something. So, you're like, yeah, that's what it is. I guess I don't know. I thought, first I thought it was a bird taking a nesting material or something.
Mm-hmm.
When you zoom into it, did you get the other picture? You got the close up?
Mm-hmm. I do.
Yeah, where you can look at the different sign on it, I guess you'd say.
Let's see.
I couldn't see it very good at all on my phone on there. Some people are probably just watching with their phone. But yeah. I'd like to say hi to everybody out there. I appreciate you coming and watching tonight. And back when I was down with the COVID, y'all were there, when no one else could be, so the last couple of years and stuff. I had it twice. It was very ill. You can tell by my voice is not back right still and stuff. It did heart damage and lung damage and stuff. I'll have to be checked for till I'm no more.
Right.
Had it rough enough. My father as well. We lost several family members to
I'm sorry to hear that. Yeah.
It like our blood type, and I guess it took a toll on my family and just stuff. So.
Man, I'm sorry.
But yeah, you all kind of got me through that. And the first time I got to look into this stuff, and I saw there was something come up, and I was like, no, that's this or that's that or whatever. And then Sandra Piper was there watching, and she said, "Hello, Pyro-Medic." And oh shoot, I shouldn't have typed nothing in. I just got called out by the teacher. Here I didn't know she was but I was like, oh, somebody's talking back to me. I was like, what's going on there? And I was like, hello, hello, are you there? They're like, yeah, yeah. I was like, okay, this is how that works. I was like, okay, all right. So she was the first one to acknowledge me, I guess, in my venture on all this. But yeah, she's a lot of people know her. A lot of people on these, know a lot of people now, different channels and stuff over the years.
It's crazy how you can network like that, man.
Yeah, it's interesting knowing people from all over, like Papa Craig, out Washington, and Godman from Australia.
Exactly.
Lockbeard lives just 30 minutes down the road from me, down there. So
that's cool.
I'm gonna try to get him to go to the Bigfoot conference, meet him there. Yeah. It's interesting. Iron Dogger, I heard her inspirational stories and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't always leave all the good ones up. Some of them that she did back were just, you're supposed to be 30-minute shorts or whatever, and she went 2 or 3 hours and just really got down to the nuts and bolts of everything and just really made you listen.
Right.
Stuff. And it's taught me a lot of stuff.
That's somebody else who I'd love to have on here to talk to.
Oh yeah. I'm so excited about that racing. I mean,
I know, right?
I saw how fast that camera was going, on there, and I was like in idle, without the throttle, and he was doing 90 mile an hour. I was like, oh, I was just thinking, if moose had stepped out there, it'd decapitate you almost. Probably.
I know, right? I know, absolutely.
Yeah, it's like riding a dirt bike through a walking trail, wide open. It was crazy to watch that footage. That's awesome. Yeah.
Chrissy said, I thought my orbs were cool until WTF is, what the fuck is that? Oh, me.
Yeah, I'm glad my friend let us put that on. That was kind of interesting.
Trumpy Bear says that's the coolest picture I've seen in a while.
Y'all were thinking it was calling it a fade the other night. That's
yes.
And the dark thing when you were calling a brownie. Right?
I'm not sure what it is.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what that is. Now, according to lore, now the Fae are separated by two different factions. The Seelie, okay, there's the Seelie Fae and the Unseelie Fae, and the Unseelie Fae are the ones who aren't really friendly to humans. I think that the little people, the Puckwudgies and whatnot, would fall into that category. They're considered Fae, and they're here. There's a lot in Native American First Nations folklore that match right up with Fae from the old country. England, Ireland, Germany, all over Europe.
Just different names for some of them.
Mm-hmm. Now, the other night, I took this exact photo right here and blew it up on my 75-inch flat screen in the living room, and I looked at it. I asked my son about this because my autistic 8-year-old son has a different way of looking at things, and I appreciate that because sometimes I need that vision. And he's helped me out a couple of times just looking at it. Usually he's got an eye, and he will point it out and name something real quick. This one he could not.
Like this goes this way, and that's going that direction.
Right. He was upset about it. I mean, he was like, "Daddy, what is that? What is that, Daddy? I don't know." I said, "What do you see, son?" "I don't know. And he was getting frustrated. I said, "Okay, just take a minute. Just what would you think that is? If you just look at it and tell me, what do you think that is?" He said, "A dragonfly." Okay.
Yeah, you've seen that. It's like
okay. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I can. Okay. You might be on something. So I did a quick Google search, and yeah, still mind blown on that photo, man. Yeah, I know, right? But this right here, I looked at a 3D flight simulated dragonfly and got it positioned just like it is here in this photo, with the head pointing, the tail pointing in this direction. Nothing matched up. Nothing. Okay? And I looked at a bunch of different dragonflies where their size may vary, but their shape is pretty much always the same, right? And this doesn't match up.
Yep.
Blowing it up closer, you could see a distinct back of the head, body, wings.
Ooh, don't say that.
You know, the whole torso right here. It's a little butt right here, legs and feet. It's whatever this is. Whatever
the wings
this is.
Are kind of flapping, you know, the
Yeah.
blur, and you would think you would see in a bird's wing or something flapping, moving fast.
With the way this is shaped right here, this looks like it might be not a feathered, but like a bat's wing.
Oh yeah, solid.
A leathery,
Yeah. Yeah.
skin and
Almost
bone and like fingers.
Bone structure there. Yeah.
Right. So,
Almost a pattern in the back too. You know, like a little, you know, the black part of them, the back of it. There's like two eyes for like fake eyes, like a moth would have. You know, big moths with the eyes, the fake eyes. The birds will eat that in them first, I guess. I don't know. Or make themselves look bigger with the dots on them. So, yeah. I thought that's my turducken, her turducken, scissor tail turducken. First species. She needs to name it. Put it in Audubon Society, huh?
So I mean, I don't know what this is. I misspoke when I was talking about the Fae, and there's some of them are kind of ugly, and others are reported to be beautiful, and just how they are, you know, like nymphs and dryads and things like that, you know.
Yeah.
But then there's imps and some of the red caps that aren't that great.
Researched them into them at all. You know, I've seen them on Long Island Bigfoots, you know, channels and pictures. People draw some beautiful pictures of stuff, you know, fairies and stuff like that in the woods. And it's like that's pretty neat looking. And then some of them are just mean, outright, you know, fanged out, and they're like, no,
right,
no,
exactly.
Exactly. Let's go back and watch something else. What's Chrissy say there?
It does look like a tiny alien, but when I was researching today, it could be. Fae has deep history, I realized. Yes, indeed it does. And the fact that, you know, it's even over here, like I said, in Native American First Nations folklore.
Yeah, maybe it transforms into a beautiful, you know, human afterwards. Who knows?
Who knows?
Shapeshifters. You know, our legend of the co-Ivan, the Raven Mocker was our Indian, you know, witch doctors. It's kind of shining along lines of the skinwalkers.
Right. Now, like I said, before today, I didn't really know anything about the. Let me see. Let me get that up here. Take on it. I didn't know anything about the Raven Mocker.
Yeah.
And then I looked in on it, and
I couldn't find the film I was looking for. It's one I still remember the scenes of, and it scares me to think about. It's been
here we
years ago I watched it.
This is like the link you sent me.
Yeah, I didn't. There's a couple different versions of it on there. But yeah, kind of like a skinwalker.
Yeah.
The east side of the states. Just dark medicine.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, but if you believe in the light, I'd say there's got to be dark. Night and day, just both sides. Yeah.
Let's see. Dylan asked, "Do you think it's facing the camera or away from the camera?"
Going out the garage.
That's exactly what I thought.
With the tail, facing the camera.
Mm-hmm.
Little, but could it be that's all the camera couldn't depict? I've heard them say the camera can't decide what to do with some images, and it blends them together, or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I've never seen too many pictures like that of a person or anything else, besides something like this that you can't decipher what it was,
Okay.
It morphs it somehow. If it's too fast or something, it doesn't can't say what to put where. It's still a computer, image,
right?
But it's thinking it's captured, received.
Yeah, I'm finding out that's the only drawback to digital photography. Digital photography it's good. You can get the quick, fast pixel rates and all this, that, and if you have a fast shutter speed,
yeah,
if you've got a really fast shutter speed, they'll make up the difference. But usually, what I'm finding out is the old film is still the best way to go.
Yeah, that's what I'm hearing.
You can get so much more out of it. Now I'm going to open this up.
Develop yourself.
Right. Exactly.
Like Kansas closed their last one 10 years ago that you could send off and develop to. And they got such an influx, they were like behind 2 years of developing, everybody's film.
Now, Chrissy says Dylan kind of looks like it could be facing the camera. Now, if it's facing toward the camera, it looks like some type of wasp or mud dauber.
Okay. Close up.
Mm-hmm. Could be.
Look how far off it caught it on the big picture.
Mm-hmm.
It was out by the truck, which would have been, the length of a garage is 10 feet or so. Would that set off a camera? You think? It could, I guess.
Maybe, but that's a
dirt dauber at 10 yards. Anything's possible. But it's a motion activated camera, I believe,
Well, that's awful big.
And it looks to be, if it was that big, it seemed like you could tell the distance, the perspective of it would be closer. It looks like it's out. You can't see a shadow. It looks like it's out 10 feet, at least to me. Dirt dauber.
It's awful big dirt dauber. I mean, granted, you do have to look at everything. You do have to take into consideration how grainy it is, how distorted that the picture is.
Yeah.
But you also have to consider this too. You're looking at. Let me bring you up here. When you're looking at light, how the light is coming in here, there's times I've seen hoax pictures where the light just does not match up.
Yeah,
they will superimpose a picture of something else into another another still photo like this one, and the shadow does not match up. Right here, you look and see the direction the shadows are facing. You see the look how the light is coming down. Right along here, right along its back and along its legs, back here, you see the light, the way it glints off in the same direction.
Yeah, the sun, you can see the tree's shadow is under that truck, so the sun is way at a 45-degree angle up to the right.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Well, like I said, So this is.
It's something.
So there it is. Let
us share it.
The close up,
Yeah.
you really need this one right here. You're right to gain some type of perspective of what this really is.
Yeah. And the pattern on the close up is like
exactly. And to me, I see discernible shoulders here at the base of the neck. It has got an odd shaped head. That's for sure.
Yeah.
But you see, it looks like a discernible shoulder ridge right here. And leathery bat-like wings. And this one evidently is moving so fast, you just can't see it.
Yeah. Maybe that's a rod with one still captured.
Maybe.
That's just one instant. I don't know.
Let's see.
Really can see it. Yeah.
I totally get it.
Yeah. Been everywhere too. He's the been everywhere man. Johnny Cash song.
I see an abdomen with two trailing hind legs. Yep. Okay, everybody, I'm going to throw the link in. I'm going to throw a link in chat if you want to come on and ask a few questions. That you're more than welcome. If not, if you like Papa C here, if you have any questions, make a comment. Put them in all caps. It'd be easier to see. So here I go with the link.
Is Mr. Lee out there? Maybe he'll come on.
I have not seen him out here today.
Is it on?
I have not seen him.
Several shows on. He's probably watching old Northern dude. I'll go back and watch theirs here after this.
What would you say, Chris? He looks like his arm is flying out and he's turning back to look toward the camera. All right.
So it didn't show a blob squatch. So,
No blob squatches. No blob squatches. I've become more forgiving of those.
Yeah.
To a degree,
I think they came into electronics. So.
Exactly. See, the biggest thing about all of these photos right here that you showed us tonight is that you were able to sit here and give context to them. What was going on? What time of day, what time of night, what the weather conditions were like, what have you. Had the actual distance away from the camera, the perceived height and what have you. I mean that adds a lot more credence to the photo, unless besides somebody just posting and say this is it, and then they got to outline it.
Yeah. And that's all just been caught within the last year, the last 6 months or so.
Mm-hmm.
So I haven't had the camera up a couple of years, I think. No, that was I started catching that as soon as I put it up. Some of that stuff in the hollow. And the hollow is just, it's just 40 yards up here out my door. So that's where that stuff's coming through, and I've really thought about looking for stuff and going out, being out in the woods finding tracks and stuff. I don't want to go back and really look for them, unless I got I'm not. I think they sense intent. They know when you're there and with a gun or whatever.
Absolutely.
When I say, this isn't for you. This. Let me hunt, and I'll leave the entrails, and don't holler at me again, or I'll leave the whole deer too.
I hear you. I mean, that's what I do when I go out. I told you earlier today, I've always have a sidearm on my side.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But this year, I don't go out without sidearm and a Bowie knife now. So.
I just put it out there. This is for my protection. I'm not out here to hurt or maim anything. This is just for protection. That's it. It's a tool, just like anything else. I've got a knife in my pocket. It's a tool, just like a pistol. It's a tool. Ray asked Brandon, "Did you actually get a look at it?"
Which one?
And I'm assuming that it's this photo that's this one right here. Is this one you're talking about, Ray?
That was my friend's picture.
Okay.
Of her garage. That's sitting on her garage, right there.
Okay. Yeah, she's talking about this one.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, that's her picture. Not mine.
Yeah, but this is the coupe de gras. This is the one I was saving for last because this is the most fantastic one.
And if they can zoom in and look at the dots on the tail, feathers, what I would call tail feathers, it's like a pattern. It's pretty, kind of, whatever it is. But it's like duplicated as a pattern.
Papa C, how you doing?
Oh, yeah. I'm doing good.
Nope, can't hear him. Yeah.
Oh, just a second here.
Say something.
All right, you got me?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you fine. Know me?
I can barely hear him.
I can hear you.
If you can hear
Okay.
him, just relay what he says. But the rest of the chat might not be, or the rest of the viewers might not be able to hear him.
Oh, that's all the way down. Hello?
Hey.
Okay. Can you hear me better?
I can hear you just fine.
How about you, Pyro?
Pyro, can you hear him?
No,
Pyro can't hear you.
no one else.
But
Radar can hear me.
But not him. That's odd. I've never seen that mess up on any stream before.
I know. I told you, man. I can't go through a whole stream without having some type of technical flare up.
Yeah. But if you can hear him, you can ask. Tell him what he's saying or whatever. But the rest of the people out there might not be able to hear him.
All right, I will. It looks like everybody's saying that everybody's loud and clear.
Okay. It's just me. I'm clean my ears out a little bit. I can't hear.
Hello. Oh, it says it's blazing it up full blast.
It sounds like a whisper to me.
Oh, whisper!
There you go. Oh, whisper. Yeah. A whisper. I could barely. But anyway, ask him. Lee can
I got you.
If it's a question.
Yeah. Nice to meet you, Papa, by the way. Nice to meet you.
Good to meet you, Lee.
Good to meet you. Look like an old version of Michael Haywood.
He said you look like. You heard that?
Yeah, poor guy. Man, I don't know what in the world that could be. I see right where the two little black spots are on the bottom. That looks like an abdomen, the whole thing, right? It's either two little legs or it's a whole abdomen down lower right there. Yeah, that little oval. I have seen wasps with a big thorax and a small abdomen and in my face, but never that color, or maybe the wings.
Right.
But I've seen them, their little legs trail out just like that thing's doing. And if it's not one of them, it's a dang alien or a fae. It's a little fairy. And I know we have things like that in this world because I've seen flashes of stuff like, nah, Papa, you're just high, something. Acid flashback, who knows? But we got, you see little flashes of things like that.
Mm-hmm.
Dot's laughing at me with that it's a wasp with a big thorax. They're out there, but they're usually black and red.
Right. Yep. I've seen those.
So I have no idea. It definitely looks like an alien head to me, or it's still a miniature gibbon head or something. Doesn't that look like a cute little gibbon peeking out of a space helmet?
Kinda. Right here. I don't know, man.
Hey.
It's a mystery, man.
Hey, Brandon, try clicking on closed caption. See if you can read my words.
You said try to clicking on closed caption.
Oh. Let's see. I got chat settings. I don't have closed caption. The audio. I can mute my audio, I think. Can you still see me? Automatically adjust mic volume. Echo cancellation.
Radar, you're killing me.
Monthly external controls if you're having issues. No closed captioning.
And Mark Dodman has made it all the way from Australia. Do you get to see anything there? Closed caption is right in the middle of the right in the middle of the screen on the bottom there. It's a little CC.
I bet if I plugged my earphones in, I could hear him.
Sometimes you have to do that with me.
But I can hear you clear and just hear him every part of every third word or so. What's he saying to this? We're looking at. How's he construed in that?
Yeah, Mark, I was just looking at that little oval-shaped, what could be an abdomen. And it might have little legs trailing out behind it. You ever see any wasp like that down your way? I didn't die, Radar. Who are you talking to? Not yet. I'm trying hard.
Hey, Phil, how you doing?
Is he telling a good story there?
Yeah, them and Bray are going back and forth.
Yeah, okay. I'll have to rewatch it later, see if I can hear him.
Man, I hate that.
Yeah.
You both have earphones on. I don't have my earbuds in or anything. And that's all I need to do. Get earbuds.
Oh, this time I wanted to get on with Pyro, and it's the end of the world. Oh, well.
Let me try it real fast. If you're going to be on the top for a second, let me go get my earbuds.
Okay. Oh! There it is. You are killing me, Radar. I am about to die. Come to think of it, you're going to make me laugh my ass clear off, and then I'll bleed to death.
She's good for that.
Yeah.
She's good for that.
She's awesome at it.
Ain't she? Tickles the fire out of me.
That's what we need around here.
I know, right?
Especially with all the crap they're dumping on us right now.
Lord have mercy. I know, right? I was hoping that tonight would be a little diversion, a little little escape from all that bullshit.
Yeah, sometimes you just got to turn the news off for a couple weeks. See if we're still alive after that.
Exactly. Got to do a hard reset.
But yeah, usually this time of year, I would be hiking back in the dark from about 4 miles down the river. I like to fish with steelhead fish, and there's these two rivers meet out in the middle of nowhere, the Grand Ronde and the Wallowa.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a really good steelhead fishing spot. And I used to go down there every day. I mean, you'd get up at 3 a.m, hike down there, fish all day, and then hike back in the dark, and then get up at 3 in the morning and fish all day, and do that for a few days until you got really tired. And it's been too cold lately, and I'm too old. But that's how obsessed with steelhead I used to be.
That sounds to me like most steelhead enthusiasts, because you guys will get up at some ungodly hour and stay out all day in the river, bone cold, and catching steelhead.
Yep, snowing sideways and all that. I remember the first time a friend of mine wanted to take me. You want me to stand down in the cold river all day for one fish? He goes, yep, you'll love it. I know you. So, Sharon's here.
Hey, Sharon.
Uh-oh, Michael's in Josie Wales mode, and Sharon is here. This could get a little iffy.
Right?
Yeah, that Josie Wales movie. What would Josie Wales do if a Bigfoot stepped out of the brush right on him? Cowboy
You gonna pull that thing or whistle Dixie?
That's probably what he'd say, all right.
All right. I put my earphones in and I couldn't hear but you still, and then I pulled them out and I can hear everybody. Everything's working fine.
Nice.
Just
nice.
had to.
I probably don't
Just
want to hear
had
what I have to say, but
Well, we better cool it now.
uh-oh, I can hear you now. I know where you live.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll have to go back.
HackerX wants the original video. Was that it? That was it, wasn't it?
All the pictures? Yeah.
The pictures? Yeah.
Yeah,
This
those are.
This is it. This is the one that we just do not know.
Off my memory card that it kind of got erased somehow, or sent, or just deleted itself. Is a little dog, black. It's either a black raccoon, the size of a dog, sitting on its haunches looking at me, or something. But it's right about the time that brownie looking thing, that fade, was there. It's within a week or two, and
I just can't make the distance conform to it being a bug.
Yeah.
I don't see where it's trying to, what was the word? Fool us on the distant, I can't see the perception being off. It looks like it's way bigger than a bug.
That's what I was thinking. That's weird.
And she actually found a little person doll. There was only like one person that made them in the Cherokee Nation for a while, and that was like 30, 40 years ago. She found one at a yard sale that it says it gave the doll's name, and it looks just like a little person would, or whatever, like made out of the old pantyhose with stuffing in it and stuff. But it's an Indian doll that is supposed to be a depiction of a little person. And she's got it in her house now, and I don't know how soon this come up out of that, but it's kind of like Annabelle, I guess. I don't know, but nothing. She's got stuff that happens in her house and stuff too, time to time. But yeah,
and if that was a bug, we would be able to make it. You could cross your eyes and uncross them or something, and make that distance come up close to you like it would be if it was a bug. It's way closer than what the picture looks. But most pictures I've been able to do that if it was something like that, but I can't do it with that one.
It's weird.
So yeah, Dylan thinks it's right next to the camera, but we might be right. Yeah, we don't know. That's a good one.
Cut down in half. Ray's saying I'm low now.
You were.
Yeah, I can hear you good though.
Okay.
But you might want to go loud.
Yeah.
Okay. That's I'm maxed out that I've shown. I'll talk a little closer or louder.
Yeah. Right, radar. I can't make the depth perception change.
It's
Right.
right next to the camera. New comments. Ooh, perception.
Once again, folks, if you have any comments or questions, make sure you put your comments and questions in chat in bold print. That way I can see them. They'll pop out to me, and I'll bring them up here, and we'll try and answer them best we can.
So, Brendan, how'd you get that picture of that ugly little thing that I was yelling about at first?
the shadow looking bean.
Yeah.
That he was coming to check out the corn there, I guess, one morning. I don't know.
Is that like a trail cam, or you just?
Yes, it's my trail cam, or the same one where you get the deer and stuff, right there. And about, I don't know, 2 or 3 months before that, there's something sitting in front of that tree that everybody was kind of like, that's a this, that's a that. It looks like a large raccoon sitting down weird, like a dog almost. It's either a black raccoon, but it's big like a dog. But I don't know.
I don't know.
That one just disappeared off my phone.
I think Chrissy's right. It's a chaka.
Yeah. I used to watch that chaka. Yeah. You never did see his parents, though. They'd holler for him. You'd hear him holler in the background, and he was trying to go. But I was like, I wonder what his parents look like.
I wonder where they get that you never get to see his parents thing from. I wonder if they knew back then. They must have.
Yeah.
Miss Deal's in chat. How you doing, Miss Deal?
Hey, real deal.
The real deal.
CO2 eyes and coffee. CO2 eyes. Leave you safe and warm. Night, Sharon.
Good night, Sharon.
Good night, Sharon.
Yeah.
The branch above it. Oh, there is a cloth hanging, right? On the fence, or
It's what? There's no fence there.
okay. What's on the right? There's a white thing hanging. Is that a cloth or clothes?
That's a feed bag, the corn feeder.
Okay.
You can put a couple bags of corn in there.
And then there's a dark streak above him.
The water is there right at his head level. That's the little creek.
Oh, okay. The one above it going at an angle.
That's the logs on the hillside.
Oh, that's what they look like.
What logs?
Yeah. I like to pretend I'm dumb. Bigfoot cut me a break, hopefully.
But that's, like I said, that's what I'm saying. I'm glad he's here to give these pictures some context. Yeah. Otherwise, we're looking at it and said, what the hell is that?
I mean, you can look at that all day on the internet. And it's like, yeah, that's that. Yeah. It's like,
I don't know.
Hollywood guy spent hours making that, or whatever. You just flip through them, and it may be the real deal. There's just so much out there that you're like, yeah, whatever.
They got creatures out by you guys that look like that. I can't remember where I've heard that, but they got little Bigfoot looking things that are not nice.
Yep. Jeff, Pine Island Research in the chat. How you doing?
Hi, Jeff.
Jeff Harding. Yeah, he's another one, Jeff, that when I watched your story that first time I seen it, it was like, yeah, he's seen it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
It's not almost 1,000-yard stare or something, when you're telling it. You can see the eyes, searching for the words or whatever, the fear in them still. It's still there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Duke was interviewing me the other day, and he kept he kept joking around about the push trees over at me. And then I remember the first time I talked to him, I was all freaked out about this tree pushing over stuff, because I bet I've had him pushed over at me 10 times
Mm-hmm.
or more.
I've only had it happen once, but it was enough for me.
But yeah, it is. It didn't happen to me, but over 20 years, so like once every other year.
Yeah.
But I would be walking down, I go archery hunting, and we got this fancy little trail. I'll just call it a trail. It's kind of level. It's not really a great trail, but it's kind of level. And we have really high mountains and steep mountains, and so getting a level spot is really nice. And I go out there to pick mushrooms. I go out that thing to elk hunt, and you can go out at a ways, and then there's several side trips you can take off of it, down some trails or down some ridges, and you can go out there 5 miles and then keep climbing. I would go out there 5 miles and hike out into the pucker brush and take my bow and my elk calls, and my son would be at work, and I couldn't find anybody stupid enough to go out there with me, because it's a hellhole and it's got scary noises in it. And
even at my peak, I hate to drag a deer more than a mile.
Right. Oh yeah, you got to take
I debone it in the woods and pull it out in the bag or whatever.
Debone it in the woods, put it in bags, and tie it to a pack frame.
Yeah, I've done the one where you leave the meat on the hide and debone it, with the meat attached to the hide, and wear it out before.
Right. We skin it, because the elk's got to be cooled really quick.
Oh yeah.
So you got to gut it and skin it, and nothing flat, and you have to do it whether you got 100 yellow jackets flying around your face or not. I got to find a way to put that 17-second video on. That's something to see. I thought, well, heck, I'll just put the head net on, I have a camo head net, gloves, and cover myself up, and I'll just wade into this elk and see how many times I get stung. They don't sting you unless you grab them.
Yeah.
And
I got stung by one of those European hornets this year. It was almost it's a cousin of the African hornet. And it was in the middle of a cold deer season. And I was eating a sandwich, taking a break, and this thing had crawled on my sandwich, and I touched it to my side, and I still got a scar from that.
Lord.
I'm looking it up on the thing, see if it's going to kill me. Them African ones, I guess, sure enough, will kill you.
Right. I've seen them.
Yeah, they have European hornets around here. I didn't know. I'd never seen one. It was the biggest thing I've ever seen. They hurt. I thought somebody shot me with a 22. Yeah.
Yeah, and these make you yell, maybe, but they're not that bad.
Yeah.
So I would be clear the heck out there, and elk like to bugle and fight right before dark. So if I was out there right before dark and I heard elk bugling and fighting, I would mess with them, maybe get one. But it would be dark, and I'd have to walk back all by myself, covered in blood.
Yeah.
Limping usually, because I usually twisted an ankle or something somewhere along the way. Yeah. And I remember thinking that once, okay, you're out here in the middle of nowhere, walking by yourself after dark, armed with a sharp stick, and you're covered in blood. This is not bright, my boy. There are bears and mountain lions out here.
Yeah.
Nothing ever bothers.
Shot a deer or elk, and a bear came over from 3 ridges over, and got it, because he heard the gunshot, right then.
Wow. Those big brown bears in Kodiak will do that all the time. Yeah. And you better love it to have it, or they'll have you and the moose or the deer.
Yeah.
Michael says I'm supposed to scare the deer towards the truck.
Right.
All these years, Michael, and you didn't tell me that.
Hey, fellas, I got a picture to show you. See what you think of this one.
Well, it's got the appendages.
Oh my goodness, could be, huh? If it was coming at us.
Yeah. One wing's bigger than the other. Twisting.
Those are the ones you don't like.
Black.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Blow
That
that up again.
skinny little waist on them.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Somebody send you that, or did you just Google it, look for it real fast?
Oh, it wouldn't. No, it was sent to me.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. If that was brown, I mean the two dots on the leg, the portion or whatever would be close, on the about where
Right.
the knees are.
Right.
Just kind of wavy.
And we're talking the feet. I mean, legs.
Okay,
Could be.
so
Put that next to the other one.
Let's see.
so it's a 2 foot long wasp.
Oh. Zoom
There's
in
that
again
one.
Zoom in again on the different color changes there, where the knees of that one would be, like the dots on the bottom, where I say it's a tail feather.
Right.
Yeah.
It's all different color, but it's got them wings. I've seen those wings before. That exact color, I mean, not the wings, but
Yeah.
I think it's been burned into my memory painfully too. But it was a different color, red and black.
Oh, you were talking about the wasps or the
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. This looks to me like a 2 foot long wasp, or it's about to land on the camera.
Okay. 2-footer.
Because I can see, it's resting its hind legs right behind the abdomen. It just, when they're flying, they just lay them on their abdomen and then they dip down.
Okay.
Right.
All right. Well,
You might have helped you. I don't know. Let's go back to calling it a fairy. This ain't no fun.
He's gonna put it in Audubon Society. Yeah, that's good eye there. If that's okay, if you want to call it that, that's fine with me. I'm not. It's not mine, and she's just asking what kind of bird is this.
Mm-hmm.
That's right. This is just our opinion.
Right.
We
My
we have no.
official opinion is a 2 foot long wasp from
Okay.
Europe.
It works for
Maybe.
me.
I'll have to find another one of those one of these days.
Jeff says hunting in Montana, he's more concerned about wolves. I tell you what, Jeff, they introduced those here about 20 or 25 years ago too, and now they're overpopulated. They're huge because they've been eating so good. We're out of deer and we're running out of elk calves, and that surrounding you stuff they put your head right on a swivel, all right.
Yeah.
They are so quiet and sneaky, and they keep trying to lure my dogs away. They'll surround us, and then one will come in and pester my dogs and try and get my dogs to chase it. And then I know he's dead if he does that.
Yeah. Yeah, we have Cory wolves, they call them, coyote, around here and stuff, and half dog, half coyote. They don't have any fear of, whatever, but they'll lure the dogs out and kill them.
Yeah, we keep arguing with Fish and Game that this is an invasive species that they brought down there. Some of them big, giant British Columbia Canadian wolves, and let them loose in our little Oregon mountains. And
the panthers are starting to make a comeback around here. They've always been here, but people are putting them on the news and stuff, and some of them are as big as the African lioness, look like around here now. It's like, oh, they're healthy, too healthy.
Yeah, all the predators are making a good comeback, and I think the deer might be fine everywhere, but
black bear and the hogs have finally got it this far from Texas. The last 5 years or so or better. The thick areas they're pretty big. You know, we got some big hogzilla-looking ones, and people see them in the woods now. You know, 4 or
I
5.
wonder if they'll ever wander up our way. Those would scare me more than anything else, I think.
Yeah. I've killed my share of them now, just out deer hunting and stuff.
Hi, Mr. Lee.
There he is.
See, it's not hard. Just put on your beard. We know
That's
you
right.
got one. Yes, it is, Mr. Lee. It's us. Terrorizing your night.
That's
Good
me.
to see you here, Mr. Lee.
Yeah, it is.
You.
Okay, so let me go on with what I was trying to say.
Yeah.
We were talking about trees. And I'd get back up on that trail, and there's a certain place a couple of miles from camp. It's the only place I can remember. I would start hearing this little ticking noise. I don't know if you guys got little brown wrens in your bushes down there that go.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
So all my life, for the last 53 years anyway, I have heard that noise moving along beside me on the trail or in the woods. Not very often. A couple times a year, 3 times, depends on where I am. And so I went in there to look in there in the bushes to see what the heck kind of bird that is the first time, because it was just back in there making a noise, and I wanted to know what all the birds are because I like to copy them. And so there was a nuthatch and a wren in there, and the nuthatch got the bad press, and until I finally found out it was the wren. Then but I'm going, this thing does not do that at night. And when I'd go, it would move along with me and tick, and when I'd stop, it would shut up and not move. And when I'd go, it'd start. And you could hear a rustle in the grass every now and then, or maybe a twig break, but not very much noise. And then all of a sudden, I'd get close back to camp. It was always in this same area I've been zapped 2 times before. And my grandson and I got zapped there once. And then all of a sudden there'd be a crack, swish, 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 kaboom on the ground right up the hill from me, just 50 yards up the hill from me. Chip would land up there, and that'll certainly make you jump and shake for a while. But I couldn't believe that kept happening. One time it was just before I got to camp, and a couple times it was after I got to camp. And then last year, right on the first night this is a thing that does happen. First night in camp, and right at dark, a tree falls over. Big tree falls over, scares all the kids. Papa comes out of the motorhome screaming at the mountains, I got kids up here, you quit doing that. And it did.
Nice.
And then later in the rifle season, I went over to see my brother-in-law. Him and his friends were over there hunting, and they go, Papa, there's some weird things happening around here. I don't know if it's elk or what, but just over the edge of the ridge, there are, sounds like kind of like elk squeaks and stuff like that, but they're all messed up. They're all wrong. And it does it, and it sounds like it's mocking us sometimes. And then something's pushing trees over. And I says, tree fall over right at dark on your first night here? How'd you know? Well, that's what they do. So there we're going, so you think it's a Bigfoot? And Ray Daw wants me to talk about the zap. They're weird, Ray Daw. I don't know. I land Jen, if I send Nana out there to kick their butt, we might have an international incident or something. I don't know. They'd probably just love her. Anyway, I'll just tell you about the one with Duke because it's the exciting one. The one's out on my little trail. My legs just went numb, got sick to my stomach and really weak and tired. Turned around, walked back to the truck, and it was all done. With Duke, now I'm quite a bit older, and I went to Montana with World Bigfoot Radio. I won a trip to the guided trip to go Sasquatching with World Bigfoot Radio on Moog's show. We had a raffle to get to Florida. And so I entered that and went up to look for Bigfoot with Duke. And we sat there the first night. We sat around a fire all night long. And as it was starting to get light, we started looking in the trees and stuff across the campground, a little river. And then as it got, and might have saw one. And I thought it headed over to the right. So when it got light enough that we could see tracks in the mud on the riverbank or the sand around it, we got up and headed for the little river. And we got to it. It was about 50 yards away. Got to it, and I took a couple of steps to the right, just turned to the right and took a couple of steps. And my legs went instantly, not numb, but dead. They felt like noodles. I was afraid the knees were going to bend sideways. They were so limp. And I mean, it was instant. I couldn't, my ankles were, a foot thick and none of that stuff would work. It felt like I got slugged in the stomach. Instantly stupider than a fence post. And, head ached weird headache, and I just stopped and teetered there and told Duke, I got to go back right now. My legs don't work. I don't know what's going on with this. They just don't work. And I just started booking for there was fear and panic in there too. I just don't notice that as much after that working on that fish boat all that time. That's like a whole lifetime of fear and panic. Anyway, I wobbled myself back to camp and flopped down in my chair and just sat there for about 10 or 15 minutes. And, Duke came right back and he goes, "What's wrong, Papa? What's wrong? Are you really sick or something?" I go, "Well, I don't think it's a heart attack, Duke, so don't worry about that. Those are different than this." And I moved around to make sure. I can tell when one is. I've had 7 or 8 of them. And, yeah, you shouldn't be a cocaine addict. Bag that idea. Just forget that whole... I mean,
Lord.
Those guys I can't think of one of my most famous guitar player songs, but anyway, don't believe them rock and roll stars. They lied to us big time.
Mm-hmm.
So I finally went, "Hi, Nick, hey." Anyway,
which I can see chat. I can, but I can't see the rest of you when I do.
So, I asked Duke, "Duke, do you think I got zapped?" And he goes, "Oh, sounds like it, probably." I didn't realize he'd had other people zapped up there before. One person didn't get over it for 6 weeks. Their kidneys were bleeding.
Good Lord.
And yeah, so they can hurt you. And then I go, "Yeah, I wonder." Because I remembered I've had this done to me before, and this is what that feels like. And my stomach hurt. It just hurt. It was upset, but it hurt. And I go, well, let's see, I've starved for the whole day before out fishing or something, and my stomach will get to hurt. And maybe if I eat something. So I grabbed something to eat, and that didn't help. And it just finally got too much, and I says, well, I don't think I'm going to die, so I'm going to go lay down and go to sleep. And we've been up all night. And lay down, went into my tent, zipped it up, got under all my covers and blankets, and it was friggin' cold in Montana. And it's all of a sudden I could feel it, there wasn't Duke around, to mitigate things, and abject terror. I was going, man, I am scared to death. I am freaked out. I was having thoughts like, are you clear this? What are you doing this far away from home, away from Nana, sleeping on the ground, looking for a friggin' monster when there's for sure grizzly bear monsters running around, whatever, all that terror going through my mind, right? You're about to be eaten any minute. And then right in the middle of it, I just passed out, fell asleep. I don't know how many times I've heard that said to people, right in the biggest, freakiest, scariest parts. They're laying on the bunk sleeping while something's beating on the wall, and all the kids are scared,
Yeah. Iron Dogger had it right outside her tent coming.
Yeah.
And woke up in the morning, and I was like, oh, okay.
Right, it's right outside the tent, and you fall asleep. Can they zap you to sleep? I don't know. Can they do any of it? Was I just freaking out? We weren't drinking or using any drugs. I mean, we were just...
We're out of the cocaine.
But, yeah, all those years of all that. But I tell you what, all the years that I ever smoked pot or drank or used cocaine, I never saw or heard anything. Especially not if I was high. I never saw much of anything if I was high or drunk. I ran into a lot of trees, as a matter of fact. Used to judge the drunk by how many trees I ran into at full blast. And yeah, I was one of those kind of people. If I drank in town, I was going to jail. I just put on my horse's ass costume and go downtown and get thrown in jail. So anyway, that was the zap. That's all I know. It took 4 or 5, 10 days. I don't know. But 4 or 5 days, I'd go, yeah, I think I'm over it. And then, maybe I'm not. Yeah, I am. Maybe I'm not.
That's crazy.
Yeah, and one time with my grandson, we were headed out to this place to pick mushrooms. And the only thing I can think is I know this canyon is where they like to, I think they like to have babies and raise babies. Yes, Nana. See, there I am right there. There, she got through. Oh, we love Nana. She's going to bean me. You already did, honey, for looking at that naughty picture.
I laughed when you said that.
Oh, Nana saw that mouthy thing on the screen and slapped the top of my head. She's good though. But my grandson and I were walking down that thing and looking for bolete mushrooms, and we were doing pretty good. And I went, I know another place just like where this last patch was, and it's out here way, so we'll just go there. We got about halfway there, and both of us stopped and reeled around and went, ew, I don't feel good. My legs don't work. My legs are really tired. That's what my grandson was saying that to me. Papa, I got to go home. I went, okay, I don't feel good either. Let's go. I don't know what's going on here. And so we went back to the truck and drove a couple miles, and we were all better and picked a different patch.
Were you able to hear anything at all that would indicate there was some type of noise or anything like that?
You know, if anything was making any noise, Nan and I noticed this last year that if you're just going out in the woods to do something else and you don't know about Bigfoot, because at that time I did not know, I didn't believe it, you know. I'd heard all kinds of things, but I went, nah, that's Alaska, that's Canada, that's the Cascades. And, you know, just didn't hear much about it.
Mm-hmm.
So what we found out was you don't listen for it. You don't hear it. I mean, even now that I know every noise that I think is Bigfoot and listen for them, I catch myself talking to somebody and not listening, or not listening for a couple hours until I get, you know, brought around by a branch breaking, or you know, what sounds like a wood knock, but I don't know what made it. Because elk will run into a branch on the ground, you know, or a trunk on the ground, and they'll break it hard.
Yeah.
And their hoof will hit it. It'll sound like a wood knock, and the branch will go flying through the air. So I always have to factor that into anything I hear.
Ray asked, she asked this, and then she says this. Ha ha! You're so funny, Ray. Ha 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 ha!
That was cute. I get it. That's not bad. The old guy catches a joke. No, I did when I got out of the Army, but I don't know what happened. It went away. My ears got better. Made sure I wore earplugs or headphones around those diesel engines and chainsaws, and Lord knows what else I've.
CBD cured my dad tonight after 30 years overnight.
Really?
He woke up the next day and said something's weird, something's funny. And you could hear crickets again, you know, in the house there.
Nice.
Oh, I hate that. Drive you nuts.
He said that ringing said it fixed it. Like good. I didn't know you could hear all them you know.
Yeah, it had to have been bad when you appreciate the sound of crickets in your house.
Yeah.
They sound great outside. You know, I can raise my bedroom window in the summertime and hear them crickets chirping. It's like a lullaby. But get a couple in the house, it's like a death knell. You know, he's like, I'm going to hunt them suckers down and kill them both.
Yeah.
You know what's neat about our mountains? We don't have all the bugs you guys got down that way, or where they got everywhere else. I mean, in the spring, we have a stupid amount of mosquitoes, and we have these things called deer ticks. They're the ones that give you the Rocky Mountain spotted fever.
Yeah, we've got that. I've got several family members have had it.
But that's all we got. It's just the one kind of deer tick, and they come out right after the snow melts, and they die right after the ground dries up.
We got both kind over here, the big ones and the little ones, and it's the little ones that carry the Lyme disease.
Uh-huh.
I got a cousin that's eat up with it, and there's Lyme disease ain't no joke.
No, neither's that Rocky Mountain spotted fever.
No, it's not. You're right.
I had a tick in my belly button once. I came back for mushrooming, and then I picked a tick out of my belly button, and the next day I had a big... it was a few days later. Big ring with spots around my belly button. That was the cutest dang thing. I showed it to my doctor.
Damn it, man. Oh, look at this. Ain't it pretty?
Ain't that cute? Right around that big ugly hole there.
Lord have mercy.
It's like, what have you been doing?
No, but I tell you what, everything about everything you mentioned happened to you. Happens to a lot of people hit with these damn LRAD sound cannons.
Is
So
that right?
it's a different, it's type of infrasound. So I mean, you just got to look at the U.S. military and our militarized police force out here zapping people in crowds and stuff like that. Just look and say, hey, Sasquatch can do that too.
Yeah, because he hit me and not Duke.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you can focus it. You can focus it.
See, I hadn't heard this. This is really nice to hear because I couldn't figure out. I was wondering if it was some kind of EMS beam or something.
Yeah, they had
that they can do.
They had some diplomats that have been. They got lawsuits against the government because they have been zapped by these things and they won't pay their insurance and stuff on it or whatever. And just kind of come out, And, so they're like these guys. The governments are using it on them when they're in the embassies and stuff.
Me and Ray were talking about that this morning, as a matter of fact. Yeah, it's crazy.
Have you seen the guy from Michigan? He's a school teacher that's been on BFO and the Conservancy, Los Cryptids Conservancy, has the recording with the chart of the EMF or the low frequency.
I've seen it.
No,
I don't know it well.
Yeah, it shows it on there. I forgot how many hertz it is, but it's the infrasound on there. You're supposed to record it while the other stuff is going, or you're like Bigfoot chatter or something, around it.
Right, I have seen that.
Yeah, and then it has the low band of it. It's like 20 hertz on the bottom. At the same time, he said when that happened, his ears went like they were full of water, or just could hear like scratching in them, like static electricity or something. When that was going on, it was like,
and I never noticed because what happens to the rest of your body is so rough, you wouldn't notice scratchy ears. It's like, who's hitting me?
Yeah. Well, I wonder if they're starting the frequency of that when all the woods go dead. If they're doing that, and then all the animals react to it and shut up. How they say, everything just goes dead for a while.
Yeah. I've had that happen to me a couple of times, man, and it's eerie when everything just stops, and I mean it's like the birds stop chirping, the insects stop humming, and the wind almost the wind stops blowing, and it's just that deathly silence. It's like, what the hell is that? What's causing that?
I always used to think it was demons or some other kind of spook or something. But it happens to me a lot. And when it does, you get a real creepy feeling, eerie feeling, impending doom kind of thing. Well, I just always turn around, walk off, and went, thanks for letting me know, whatever you are.
Yeah. Right. Well, I'll tell you this much. One thing I've learned just doing actual research, in all this, I don't always contribute all that to Sasquatch. I mean, I believe that they're capable of doing this, but I also believe there are other things out there besides Sasquatch that may mean to do you harm.
That's what I think. Nana and I had a whole weekend with a family of Sasquatch on Memorial Day this year, and there was none of that except for when they were around camp with the juveniles trying to sneak up and peek at us. The first day there wasn't a bird, wasn't a sound, nothing. Yes, it was like you said, not even the wind blowing. Mm-hmm. And then I went up the hill to pick some mushrooms, and I'm walking along from where I know one little patch grows to where another little patch grows, and here comes that ticking noise again. But never any of that creepy outfit. I stopped, and the ticking stopped, and I went, and the ticking went, and got up to a little clearing coming up ahead, and I went to rush up to that to see if I could catch it up there. And I could hear little pebbles rolling down the hill as it booked up the hill and got out of sight before I got there. Fast, too. That's amazing. And not making any noise.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, I remember saying to it, "You're up there, aren't you?"
Right.
And the mood lightened, and I just said, well, I'll do what everybody else says to do. I don't mean any harm. I just want to pick some of these morels. I'm not going to pick any of your cauliflower mushrooms. I think the thing was up there giggling. I already ate them all, dummy. Because there wasn't a one on the whole hillside, just stumps. And I mean, elk eat them, but there weren't any elk tracks, just Sasquatch tracks, 16-inch and 10-inch.
Yeah. Ray referring to the walls of Jericho there.
Yes, indeed. Yep.
Yeah, that's probably how they brought them down, huh?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. No.
And
Blowing that trumpet.
Mr. Lee said you got an Oklahoma accent, just like Blackbeard. Brad.
We were talking, and we can't hear it with ourselves, When we go somewhere else, they look at us and laugh at us, and they're like, "Say something, say something." Like,
yeah, I know. I got an Oregon accent, and I can't hear it.
Yeah. Then I hear Chrissy or whatever, and I'm like, "Golly, she sounds a hick," When I hear mine played back to me, I'm like, "Man, I sound I can speak hick fluently, I guess."
I think we both can. Sharon Guy, how you doing tonight?
Hi, Sharon. So that's all I can remember about that. They push trees over. I hear wood knocks all the time. Some of them I know. That's wrong color for that U of O thing there.
Yeah.
No, I root for both of them. Sorry, Tex. I didn't say that out loud, did I?
Yeah. I hate when we play Oregon Ducks. So they've always got our number usually.
That's right.
Yeah.
Who is it? We never have Ohio's.
They're playing a different speed around them. Like, woo.
Ohio's who we never used to beat, and finally got to get them.
Yeah.
So, and so some people don't hear anything. That's what I don't know, Ray, I don't know. Sometimes I don't know if I ever heard anything or buzzing ears, but could be because was in the Army and I'm deaf. I mean, I thought it got better, but I know I'm missing tones. I'm just plain gone.
From this article I read, they can focus that beam on anyone they want to for that infrasound with that sound cannon, and it all depends on how far away you are, whether you actually hear it or not. You can all of a sudden just drop to your knees. And like, what the hell is that? And, you bring it in your ears. You're not actually hearing this sound, but you're being affected by it. It's crazy.
Yeah, I was telling you.
It's like put thoughts in people's heads, like moving their vehicle. One guy at Colorado before somebody was saying, my car was up there, but it was down here. It looked like he was in the brush in the hollow or something. And then, it was back where he had parked it and stuff. It like changed the perception of stuff. And when they recorded the Sierra sounds, they said they thought they were out there just thrashing their camp, a night or two and stuff. And, all the barrels and stuff thrown around, and we go out and there's nothing touched,
That's what, yeah, I heard, I was just talking to Tex about that. I heard one of them 2,000-pound bulls, we have Simmental bulls running around our mountains, the big yellow ones. And every once in a blue moon, every other year or something, I was raised on a ranch, so I know, they will roar like a lion like a lion, maybe a little louder. And But then afterwards they'll, you know how bulls do. And so there was just the roar. And my buddy and I were, I could feel the fear welling up and about to panic, you know, and I'm trying to knock an arrow and because we didn't have guns. So there wasn't any wolves around here at that time. And so we really weren't afraid of anything. I don't even know if it was legal for us to bring a gun with a bow in Oregon until we made that argument about, hey, you let wolves loose here. Now we're afraid. There's mountain lions out here. Guy's got to defend himself.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And, but,
Hey, Lockbeard.
yeah, so I was, did you quit driving, Lockbeard? Good job.
Turn around, come home. Yes.
Where in the world are you now? You got to come home, or does he got to come home, or is he going out further? He's only going a ways, right? He don't know. That's right. Anyway, somebody said they thought that that infrasound might have been a mountain lion. It might have been Lockbeard, but he heard it somewhere. I have never heard of a mountain lion doing infrasound. Have any of you guys?
No.
They do a nice, really low, scary growl.
Mm-hmm.
That's a horrible thing to hear behind you in the dark when you're limping and covered with blood and armed with a sharp stick. It works you know what works every time is raise your arms up, you know, with the bow over your head, preferably with an arrow nocked, and turn around and roar at them and run back. They will go up a tree.
I have to keep that in mind. We're getting a bunch of bears.
Yeah. Yeah, if you see them there looking, that's you know, and they're crouching, turn around and go at them.
I saw the one on YouTube where the one falling down the road for probably 100 yards or better last year, and just kicking up the storm and swatting the dirt, and 20 feet from me. And
I saw that.
I don't.
That was
that happened to me.
Yeah, I've had that. That's happened
smart,
to me at night.
He was smart though. He was backing away.
Yeah.
He kept facing it.
Oh yeah, keep facing it. Yeah, don't turn your back. They love that. They'll be on you before you get a step.
Exactly.
But yeah, and anymore, I mean, I don't know. The first time I turned around and put my bow up and roared at it and went at it. Second time, what's funny is you hear something or feel something. I think it's you feel. Yeah, it was my skin crawling in between my shoulder blades is what I was feeling.
Wow.
So you turn around, look back, and your headlamp shines back down the trail, and there's ice shine. Oh, it's a mountain lion behind it, and he's crawling. He's creeping.
Mm.
And then I just draw my bow and pointed at him, and.
I saw my first one this past deer season. As soon as I saw him and realized what it was, I put my muzzleloader down and pulled the pistol out, put it in front of me, pulled the Bowie knife out, stuck it in the dirt. I was, because he was stalking me or coming up and downwind of me. But as soon as he hit my wind, he stopped and stayed there for a few minutes and turned around and slunk back off. So, hoping I was projecting enough mind projecting to tell him I'm going to get you too before you get me at least once,
Right.
I'm telling you, man, they can sense that too.
Oh yeah, lots of animals can sense so much about you. My dogs know what I'm thinking. I swear they read minds and speak English. I think they just get to know you so well.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But I know that my big old 14-year-old yellow lab knows quite a few words.
Yeah,
I don't doubt that.
Your paper or something, my grandparents used to speak with them in Cherokee, and they understood, Cherokee. And would go out and bring them whatever they wanted, walking cane or, whatever. He'd bring sticks in for the fire, So.
Mr. Lee, yes, I get a metallic taste in my mouth on a lot of occasions when funny business is happening. I keep forgetting about that. And then Lockbeard says, I think it's the big cats that are known to use infrasound, so it's speculated that mountain lions may have the ability, but don't quote him on that.
Mm.
Sorry I quoted you on that, Lockbeard, but I was trying to say you probably got it somewhere else and we're wondering. But that's why I was wondering if they can do it, because they're around. I mean, not so much since we got the wolves. Them dang wolves eat everything. They eat mountain lions. They eat bears. They will chase a black bear till it, tag team chase anything until it gets so tired it can't run, and then they kill it. They will kill for fun. And, it's nice we got wolves around here. They're big, beautiful creatures, and they're really cool to listen to at night. But they won't let us hunt them and keep them in check, so they're eating everything. What's funny is they're heading for Portland, the big city, Portland. People are reporting seeing them throughout Eastern. Portland's 250 miles away, and they're about halfway there.
Yeah.
So that's what I just tell the Portland people who don't want any animals touched or any trees harmed. Everything must be hugged.
Mm-hmm. Till it starts happening to them, then kill them all.
Right. And I says, well, we'll just send you some of them wolves, and you can see how it is when they chase your kids.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Because that's the thing now. We can't have the kids play in the woods one iota without looking really, really close, because they'll come right over and lay down and watch you all day.
Yeah. Even here, I don't. When I leave before dark and come in after dark, I don't, go without checking the corners.
A good idea.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You watch the YouTube videos, the woman coming around and running to the black bear actually ran into it eating the dog food, didn't realize what it was. The bear didn't know she was coming, so it was kind of funny, but they both went different directions real fast.
Yeah, Nanny was sitting out on our front porch some years ago smoking a cigarette, and I was sneaking a puff with her every now and then. And a mountain lion, a young one with spots, jumped right over our back fence and trotted right off across the front yard and street and down the road, and thought about that and went, spots. I mean, it had the big long tail. And we went, spots. It's got to have a mom around here.
Damn.
We better call the police and tell them, And the cop said, thanks, We'll look around, make sure mommy's not still in town.
Yeah. He had been less than 4 to 6 months old then, huh? That's a little one.
Right. But yeah, there was in our backyard, probably after the dogs. Although,
well, anybody have any other questions? I might pop off here, I guess.
Yeah, I was getting ready to say it's
good.
2.5 hours, and
I have
want
one
to wrap it up.
Story, but maybe another time.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we got a life to live. It's been I could talk to you guys forever, but it's great. We will.
Well, I'll tell you what, should be back on here Wednesday night. If you guys want to hop on anytime, I'll put the link in chat and hop on. We talk again all night. Well, as long as you can.
All right.
I kind of like letting you go alone and get philosophical with this, though. Sometimes I enjoy those too.
Oh, okay. I'm bad for rambling.
That's all right. As long as you, like I said, if we go down a rabbit hole, they're all pretty interesting rabbit holes.
It's true. I've been falling down one for a couple of years now.
Hey, you see stuff or hear stuff, things happen. You end up following Alice's rabbit.
You're darn right.
Yeah, I've been listening to all these stories and trying to, hear something that clicks with my experiences and stuff. And it's interesting when it does. It's like, okay, yep.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
They had it too, or seen it.
Yeah, I have a stupid amount of experience in the woods. When I got out of the Army, I went and played Survivor Man for a while. Thought I got good at it. And then also cut firewood, fence posts, pick mushrooms, pick berries and sell them, and mushrooms and sell them, and cut firewood and cut firewood and cut firewood and cut firewood. And then I was a logger for a while. I don't know what all, I mean, fishing, hunting, backpacking's one of my favorite activities. Just plain camping in the wild where nobody's looking.
I hear you. All right. I'm going to wrap this up here. Brandon, Craig, thank you so much for showing up here. Brandon, those pictures were top notch, man. Got us all thinking. Thanks for being here to explain everything to us, put everything in perspective. And everybody in chat, thank you for so much for showing up, hanging out with us tonight. We'll be back here Wednesday night, probably right around midnight, another late night. If you can show up and hang out with me, come on and we'll talk. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, it's been great. Gentlemen, thank you for showing up again. And until next time, guys, I love you, mean it.
Love you guys.